ciao ciao. Ciao ciao. Head down, barrel through. What else can you do? Away from it, the closer yourself you get. Open your chest, see all the blues. When your guts are on the ground, no one to hang around. It's hard to be soft when you're not in the mood. You hate that feeling now. You hate that feeling now. You hate that feeling now. You hate that feeling now.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the new Variant Edition live stream. Look at this nice studio I've got here. It's not done yet. There's some pictures that need to go up on the walls here. But hey, how are you folks doing today? It's been a while since I've done a stream, over a year actually, and so I'm just kind of getting back into the swing of things. It definitely didn't help that okay. It definitely doesn't help that there's a few little errors happening here. That Facebook completely apparently deleted the feed that was supposed to go out. That seemed like fun. And then getting all of that reset up. So I love it. I love all of this stuff. And I'm trying to get the music to go on here. What you just heard was from our very own Craig's new album, The Compression Dial. A very wonderful song. Brandon. Called Blah Blah Chow Chow. And you can request that at some of the local stations here, where Craig's album debuted in the top 20 on CGSR, I believe. So that's pretty cool. So that's what you heard leading into this. Had that going. And I usually have sort of like some chill hop in the background here that I'm just trying to set up again. So we're doing great to start things off. Nothing can ever go like super smooth, right? But that's how it goes. You might notice that I've got this wonderful new mug here. It says, "I have a lot of feelings." And you also might notice this little logo that I've got on there. This is a little variant edition logo. I've got one on the computer as well here. We've been messing around with some variant edition merch that we're very excited to roll out here. Our very own line of mugs. These are variant edition mugs, which means each one of them is unique. They're variant editions. There's no one of them that is the same as any of the others. And I'm having a lot of fun kind of putting all that together. And I've got a whole bunch of them that I'll be revealing over the course of this here. Thanks for working the camera too. I don't think it's working as I want it to. Everybody is a disaster. I quit. I should put up a thing. To it. Okay. One of those technical difficulty things with the I was doing all of that. Great start to the show. I'm really glad that I told our special guest today to wait about 20 minutes before popping in on the stream. We have Kurt Piers here today, who is the creator of many wonderful books. The most recent ones, Lost Fantasy, Fireborn, and tomorrow's new book, Supermondo Megamutts, that we'll be talking about today. It's a great series, or at least I've read the first issue of it, and that's not this. If you're thinking kind of like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles kind of pastiche, definitely has some inspiration, as you might see from this wonderful bee cover that I adore. But it's obviously a lot more than that. There's a lot playing in with it. And I read it, I had so much fun, and Kurt will be here in a little bit to talk about that. But in the meantime, we've got a whole bunch of mugs to show off to you. All of these are unique. They all come with like a little adoption card. And a little origin story. So as you can see, this one comes from somewhere over the rainbow. It is a 1 of 1. It has a beautiful variant edition logo on it. And we're having a lot of fun with these. I'm going to see if I can find one of my favorites. There's so many. I'll just have to grab them randomly as I go. But look at this little guy. This little ghost puppy. He's in there. We've got the variant edition on there. And this is like a little ghost doggy that you can cover in water and TA. And his origin, he was the best boy. He's very cute. I'm very happy with him. And yeah, we've got all kinds of things going on here. Goodness. So the mugs are going to be featured in variant edition. You can purchase them. They're range from about $5 to $7. But yeah, we've just got we just had a lot of fun with these. This one comes from your coworker, comma, or brackets, you know which one. They're also the person that just says, "Oh my goodness, Monday again! Wow!" All that kind of stuff. And yeah, just whole bunches of mugs. This is a Gilmore Girls mug. It comes from Luke Steiner. Your girl boss. It comes from Becky's first day of selling LuLaRoe. He gave up on that dream pretty freaking quick, let me tell you. Oh, what a terrible start. I was worried about this. I'm a little rusty. I haven't done the live stream in quite some time. And I kind of want to check in on with all of you. How have you guys been doing over the last while? I know I've seen a lot of you in store over the past year, because it has been a year. And for those of you who are kind of wondering the things that have been happening in that past year, the store has been doing quite well. We've been growing our school markets, our book fairs that we've been doing, and we've got some big plans in the coming year here. It looks like we're going to return to Jasper for their little book event that they do. That's going to be a lot of fun. If they can find us accommodations, because let me tell you, it is very expensive to stay in Jasper end of September, early October. That is pretty freaking wild. And yeah, otherwise, put together like a little space here to do the store's live streams. We are going to continue doing live streams. I don't think on a weekly basis. I didn't end up, one of the reasons why I walked away from doing the streams was it was a little difficult to every week just sort of like, here's a new book. Isn't it a fun book? I enjoyed it, and this is what it's about. You put it down and do the same thing over and over again. I think something a little more focused is what's called for. And I wouldn't blame you for thinking like a little more focused. We saw the beginning of this live stream. That was not focused at all. Correct. I think it's going to take a little bit for me to get back into the swing of things. But I do have plans for sort of different kinds of these live streams. And they're going to be more recommendation based, or more we've got an event to talk about, or a big comics event, whether it's in the stories or in comics itself, if we've got something like that. So I'll try and get those going more on the regular. Today we are going to talk with Kurt when he gets here, and then go over and do a little more recommendations. And I'll just like keep pulling up mugs because I've got so many mugs. The beautiful variant edition mugs that are all completely different from each other, and definitely things that we sort of found and thought this was a good idea for a store called Variant Edition. Just make a million types of different mugs. Everyone's got mugs. Hey, if you want to give us some mugs, I'm not going to say no. And it's like a nice little weird thing that we can do that sort of plays in with the store's name. So I'm really excited about that. And hello? Oh, yeah. Sorry, let me patch you through. We've got this going. All right. Computer. Oh, hey. Thanks.
What's up, buddy? Cool guys here.
Yeah, right? Love it.
Yeah, what's up? It's good to be back. I saw you're coming back for the show. We have the new book out tomorrow, so we're stopping by to make it a special one, you know.
Absolutely. It's a great book, by the way. Thank
you. Yeah, I've been working on this one for almost 2 years when I first pitched it to Oni Press. So it's finally out. It's in the world, and yeah, it's a crazy book. I think people are gonna have fun with it. That's one of the things that always blows my mind. People think comics development schedule is sort of like tied more or less to like the solicitations. Like, oh, the solicitations come out.
The book has been, no, it's like years, and like I think Oni schedules their solicitations about a year in advance.
Yeah, so this one I worked on for, we had worked on it for maybe a year before Juan signed on. He signed on at last
wow.
San Diego, and then this one is finally coming out. Other things turn around faster, like Fireborn started working on that one July of last year, or August, right after San Diego, and we had it out in April. That's probably the quickest I've turned that around, and that's a bit stressful because I mean you're building the book from the ground up, right? And you need to have your solicits in. The solicits are what, 3 months before the books are out, but you got to have it a month before that. So we really only had 8 months of working on that book before we had to turn the solicit in. So that's the fastest I've ever had to work on turning something around. I think that's kind of more common at Marvel or DC, where they're just like, you throw, I guess we're doing this, right? Like, and they got to build the whole book on the go. But that one's fun, and I've had some newer ones that are kind of flying by the seat of their pants as well. But it's definitely nicer when you have a little more runway to build the stuff out. But 2 years, it kind of feels like forever. So maybe a year or so is the right amount.
Somewhere in between those two things, because the other thing sounds like you're flying the plane, but you're still building it as you're flying it, type of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So pitch people a little bit on the concept here. I mean, some of it's a little self-explanatory. Look at these rad dudes.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, the whole pitch started with just like, so I always thought Ninja Turtles so big, right? But I just was thinking of like very just broad strokes. I'm just like, man, like no one has turtles. Why is this so big? Like no one gives a shit about turtles. And I was like, ever since I saw there's that Rick and Morty episode where they like have the like Bichon Shih Tzu and like the power armor. I wanted to do something with like cute dogs, but with like crazy weaponry. And so I started thinking of this idea where basically like it's kind of like Area X type stuff, where there's this alien pocket dimension opens on Earth, and they're trying to investigate it, right? And all the drones and the all the craft they send in to look at it fail. So they send in basically dogs in these We-3 suits. And then when the dogs come out, they're all swole and stuff, and get Rob Liefeld weapons and laser swords. But it's that, and then there's also there's a lot of comedy in the book too, right? Which is, I think, is some of my favorite stuff. They're basically trying to save LA from this gang called the Goo Gang, which like worship the Gleam, which is this pocket dimension. But it combines like all these things I like like the dogs and giant weapons and high concept sci-fi and street fighting into just like a really fun book. Oh, and monster trucks. There's a monster truck in it. I just was trying to make a book that I want to read, really, and I think that's the point, was to make an awesome animal book. There's all these, I joke, there's all these sad animal books where they're like Eisner bait, where it's like, oh, it's animals, but it's about the war in Iraq, or it's Animal Farm, it's about our democracy. And my book's like, yeah, I don't give a fuck about any of that shit. It's just animals with giant guns killing shit and joking about how they hate reading and all this stuff. The dogs are based on my family pets too, so it's kind of like I was just having a lot of fun with this one, really. But it's I think one of the best things and most accessible things I've ever made. And Juan Yedion is an exceptional artist and really like brings the book to life.
Yeah, like that's a get. One of the last things I remember him on was Jurassic League. Which was really rad. And one of those wild pitches that is kind of like a no-brainer. It's like it's superheroes except they're dinosaurs. And then a whole bunch of retailers were like, that's stupid. Who would read that? I'm like, have you met children? Have you met any kid ever? They love dinos, they love superheroes. You put them all in one book. That's great. This one's not quite for kids, but I would say if you're into things that are rad, I know that's pretty broad, but like
I'd say it's for like
rad.
I'd say it's for like a cool uncle or a cool dad to like give to like a 10-year-old and just be like,
Oh,
don't
yeah.
tell your mom. Like, because that's the thing people forget. Like, some of the coolest stuff when you're a kid that like shapes your mind is the stuff you're not supposed to read. So like I love that idea of it. There's not like really any sex or anything
No.
in this. So like a kid, if you're like a cool 8-year-old, you could enjoy this. If you're 10 and have got kind of a deadbeat uncle who likes comic books, get him to grab you a coffee. But
No,
I'm just
100%.
That's
a great pitch for this.
I think it was originally ran by accident in the solicits as all ages, and it's just it's not.
It
Not
sure
all
was.
ages. Yeah.
I think that is a great pitch for it because I do have a lot of parents coming in, and what keyed me to this was when they're talking about Invincible and they're just like, oh, I think Invincible's a little too violent for my kid. And I'm just like, remember when you were their age? What would you think of this book? And they're like, I think it would be the coolest thing in the world. I'm like, exactly. That's what this is.
That's the thing. I remember like when I was a kid, my dad would like let us watch ultra violent movies and stuff. And then my mom would very much not. And it would just be like, oh, you want to watch Highlander or something? I'd be like, sure, right? Or Gladiator. I mean, that is one that's kind of crazy to let a kid watch, but he let us watch it. That one's, I'd say, nuts, just because Gladiator's whole family gets killed, and then there's some like low-key incest in there as well with Joaquin. I'm just like, man, that's a crazy movie to let a 10-year-old watch, but cool dad. But yeah, this is like that kind of, not like Gladiator, but I'd say it is like Highlander. Like if like, when you're a kid, you turn the TV on late at night and you get that shit that like blows your mind. Like this is what it's all ages. If you want to give your kid that like awesome experience.
Yeah, I really like that. Yeah, that's kind of going to be my pitch going forward. It's the cool book that you don't want your parents to know you're reading.
That and just Ninja Turtles, but better because it's dogs, right? Like I'm sure that pitch like really annoys the Ninja Turtles like super fan, but I'm just like, it's funny to me because I'm just like I'm like the Ninja Turtles, but I'm definitely not Ninja Turtles super fan or anything. So I genuinely think I'm like, man, the Ninja Turtles would be a lot better if they were dogs. So it's just funny to me to kind of come up with a book that's kind of the thesis of it. Like, what if it was, and then kind of the LA stuff really evolved from contemporary stuff where when anything crazy happens, you see LA is like absolutely wild. So I'm like, well, it's a fun place to set this sort of story. And then, having spent a bit of time there, like besides where I live, I'd say probably spent the most time in LA. And so I have some knowledge of it and put stuff in there, like the dogs, the Italian food and stuff they eat is a place I always go eat when I'm there. John Vitti's very like famous kind of Hollywood franchise that has great food. So it's like funny to me how the dogs are getting it for free, and just so it's kind of just just making what I want to read and just trying to entertain myself first, because I think that's the key to making a good comic book.
Yeah. What I did really enjoy about it too is they are dogs. And I don't say that in like they're like the story doesn't happen the way it does unless they're dogs. There's that familial, the looking for their owners, the missing tropes, and then even sort of like the way they react to some things. It's just like, yeah, I'm a dog.
Yeah, the reactive dog, right? Who's based on Griffey, who's my brother's dog, who is reactive and is always like barking and freaking out. So like that character will just start randomly barking in the middle of a scene because that's he's reactive, right? And the dogs have all their favorite snacks and stuff. So I think, yeah, I mean, we definitely wanted to feel like, okay, they're actually dogs and not just like could be any animal.
Yeah, and like I said, everybody, if any of that appeals to you, definitely check this out. I know you don't have a lot of time today, but I do want to also talk about, you've got the last issues of Galactic still coming out.
Yeah, so issue 2 of Galactic's out in a couple weeks, and then issue 3 will be out in the fall. So that one's back on track finally. Thank you everyone for waiting while our publisher decided to print our comics again. That's but that's out. And then Fireborn and Lost Fantasy are still ongoing and honestly getting bigger each issue. We just got numbers on Lost Fantasy 11, which FOC'd yesterday, and it sold 2,000 more copies than the prior issue, which is like kind of unheard of. And so those books are going strong at Image, and we'll be crossing over in September in a pretty exciting way. Or sorry, October, alongside the first trade. We're trying like our version of like a crossover, which is but the whole thing with doing these books is whenever we do something that's kind of like, how say it, big 2-ish, is like, how do we make it like really cool and like fun and not suck? Like, to be fair, like the best big 2 books, like the events or whatever it is, they're normally special because they like go out of their way to, not just feel like another event or whatever, right? Like and so with this, we're crossing over the books and we'll be announcing this at San Diego on one of the panels, but it's going to be like 2 issues out on the same day, and the 2 characters are going to be fighting, but each issue shows the fight from from the other character, each character's point. So it's like one point of view, one fight, 2 stories. So it's kind of like if Neil Gaiman wrote dudes beating the shit out of each other. So it's like Rashomon, giant swords and flaming uppercuts. So that'll be out the same day as the trade. And yeah, the trade, there's going to be a Jay Lee direct market exclusive version. So that's all going to be out on Monday. It's going to be like basically a big day for our little universe and kind of just trying to make it a really special moment for everyone who's reading these books and, supporting us. And we're just trying to like make, again, the whole thing. I keep coming back to it. I can say it already. I'm just trying to like make the comics I want to read. Like what will bring me to the shops, what gets me excited is when people are like trying new things. And if you are doing, like shared universe storytelling is fun, is the thing. There's a reason people like it. It's just gotten too bloated and crazy. So like with the stuff we're doing, we're always trying to get back to what, makes it special and what we love about it. Right. So that's, what we're doing with this event, which I won't say the name of because I guess I should probably save something for but just kind of some insider info.
And that's awesome. Yeah, like honestly, your books have always been good, but the last couple of years of it's sort of everything seems to have clicked with the industry as well to kind of like match your moment in time and kind of build all of these. Each one of mine here just keeps kind of like getting better and better anyways.
Yeah, I think I like it's a learning experience as well. I learned a lot in the last few years of like about the business side, I guess, and like what kind of like just what also like learning what the whole connecting with the collector community and stuff and like learning what they like and because the thing is I think like I obviously love reading comic books, but I also understand the collector side where it's like, okay, when there's a new number 1 you're really excited about, if there is more than one great cover, like I'll buy a couple, right? So it's kind of like for me, also learning how to accommodate those readers and just discovering so many amazing artists and people to work with. And that's really helped grow the books a lot. And I think the homage covers it really helped us grow the books as well. So it's kind of just everything snowballing. And obviously the books are good too, because that kind of, still matters.
Yeah.
But it's been great. And I think it's a lot of people who've been, like you said, just kind of building, and it's a lot of people who are reading all the books and at least checking out each first issue of whatever new project it is. So that's helping like launch the books bigger and bigger. So it does snowball over time, right?
Yeah, and I can tell you, at least anecdotally, the homage covers on Lost Fantasy, and then going through to even like the TMNT ones now, that grabbed people who do just browse on shelf. And
Well, that's
catches
the
their
whole
eye and it
point of
stops
it,
them.
right? It pulls.
Yeah.
So we just did part of why, we're just talking about the Lost Fantasy numbers going up, and I think a big part of that was we did a Kingdom Hearts variant, and I mean, honestly, I had no idea people were so crazy about that franchise. It was probably one of the highest performing homages we did, and the post kind of went viral, like over on the Image Instagram and all this stuff, and so that's really fascinating. And my whole thing with doing the homages is it's a way to like get people to pick the books up, and then for retailers to be able to pitch it, right? Because otherwise, a huge problem with comics is they're all on the shelf. It's overwhelming because so many of them look the same, right? They're all sort of over-rendered splash covers kind of stuff. So when you do something that people want to pick up off the shelf and have a look at, and it gives the retailers a chance to pitch it, like that's a win to me, because you're getting someone to spend more time considering purchasing the book, and it gives like you a chance to sell them on it, right? So that's kind of aside from being fun to do, that's kind of really the whole point, right? It's kind of become bread and butter where I'm starting to do these homages on most of the projects, because I think they're just cool and they're fun anyways. And we've moved to a point in like culture where this very like collaborative culture now, where you have these collaborations between things you never would see and brands and stories and all this stuff. So like, I think we fit in with that. So I think the homage covers are a fun thing to do that helps us get more readers and bring more people into the fold.
Like this week also has a Sonic versus Godzilla series starting.
Yeah, that one's crazy, right? Like I didn't even know that thing was happening until I think I saw it today, looking through the books that are coming out with alongside Megamots, and I was like, whoa, that's a wild one.
That's the world we're living in. It's you get to smash all the toys together if people play nice.
Yeah, it's like what I loved as a kid was the episode 1 when that came out, all the collabs, like episode 1 Taco Bell, episode 1 Mountain Dew, all this stuff. Like that's what I'm talking about. We want that Lost Fantasy soda pop money. That's what it's all about. But anyways, look, I got to run. Welcome back.
Worries,
I hope the book does well for you. Everyone, you support the variant edition. Read Fireborn, read Megamots, read Lost Fantasy. Make Brandon and I wildly rich and successful. And thank you for tuning into this live stream. See you, buddy.
Right, thanks, man. We'll see ya. That was Kurt Pyers, somewhat local creator. He's down there in Calgary making some really cool books. I did genuinely enjoy this book. It is a fun romp and just fun. Like Kurt was saying, there's all kinds of animal books these days that are just like, yeah, you want to get sad. And this isn't all like super like happy fun times. There's a lot of emotional hooks in it too. A really great book, and I hope folks will try it out. Otherwise, we do have a lot of Kurt's other projects in the store. Like we briefly touched on, Galactic is coming back, which is sort of like a creator-owned deal that's coming from Distillery. And as Kurt also alluded to, that company is back publishing because they took some time off for reasons, question mark. And it's segueing into a couple of the recommendations that I have. Some of them are from this week, and some of them are just sort of in general. And then I also have some news about an upcoming store signing that will be happening in mid-August. So stay tuned for all of that stuff. And I'll also just keep bringing on mugs as I go. So a mischief of magpies has been a long time coming. I think it was solicited for like November of last year or something like that. And then Distillery kind of went on a little hiatus while they kind of reformatted some things and frankly got their shit together. This is by the amazing creative team of Cy Spurrier and Mateus Bergara. They've done a few different things like Step by Bloody Step. And I'm trying to remember the boom book they did. It's not The Spire, but they do a lot of these great fantasy series together where they build these wonderful worlds where they've sort of got rules set for it and a feel set for it. And you find out more about these worlds through action, through the story. And it's almost as though you're discovering parts and building the world alongside with them instead of the sit down and be like, yes, the structure of this, where the rich are over here and the poor are down here, and we call these people this and blah, blah, blah. It brings you along with the story and you discover all these elements and you live in the world with them. This is no different. I love this book. And it has sort of like a, kind of like a childlike hook, a kid kind of imagining a world and then a world that sort of exists, kind of going back and forth. I know generally we can only show preview pages of kind of what is online. So it's sort of the beginning where the kid is sort of like kind of daydreaming and whatnot. And then obviously later you sort of get immersed into this beautiful world. And the imagery is just absolutely wonderful. I might be thinking of Coda, Andrew. I love that series too. Because yeah, the Cy Spurrier in general, like if he's doing a fantasy book, I'm on board. Because he also gets these creators that paint these wonderful worlds, and I just absolutely adore their work. Also, Cy Spurrier is one of the only writers that uses uppercase and lowercase when they write. And I know this sounds really weird, but I like hearing that language because someone will be talking and then there will be like this little aside. Sometimes it's to themselves, sometimes they're whispering, but it's just sort of like the extra seasoning, the extra flavor. And I love that he does that with the panels too. So yeah, Distillery's back. The other thing I can say about that is Distillery, for the books that are currently solicited and coming out, they have them all done. How do I know this? I haven't read them all yet. I haven't read the end of this, but they sent retailers the entirety of the books. So the next two issues of this are just sitting in a file that I can't have access to, that I can read. A Galactic, very similar. That is a really fun book that I think folks who are into, it's definitely more of a Star Wars feel, but by way of Kurt, basically. He makes big, kind of more bombastic style books with a lot of heart to them, and yeah, it's good stuff. Boop-a-doo-doo. This is one of my favorite new variant edition variant mugs. It is definitely one of those "take my wife, please" mugs. And this has a dude walking through the streets, dancing with a street lamp, as a dog kind of eyes him suspiciously. And he says, "Through pleasures and pubs we may roam, there'll always come a reckoning when we get home." And his wife is sitting there with a rolling pin. Great old-fashioned misogyny. But in a mug that has Variant Edition's giant logo on it. All these fun Variant Edition mugs. Also a Variant Edition mug for folks who are looking to get maybe someone more religious in their life a little treat. Let's get them a Variant Edition variant mug. You'll be able to see the entire range of mugs, or at least as many as I can fit out, in store tomorrow. Got a shelf space and everything. And yeah, I'm very proud of our merch. I think it's fun. I think it's goofy. A lot of times when there's big store events, the first Variant Edition variant mug that went out into the wild was a prize that a grand prize winner, there was a pool of prizes that people could win for the Edmonton Independent Bookstore Tour Day. So if they went to a lot of stores, they got entries into a draw, and they could win something with prizes from every store. We sent one of our very own mugs. I want to say that one was a Dave mug. It was just a mug for Dave. It was fun. And one of our notebooks that we have with our logo on it. Yeah. So I do want to talk about an upcoming signing that we have, and I also need to get my calendar out so I get the day right. I'm pretty sure I know what day I'm thinking of, but a lot of you out there know who I am and how I can often get ideas into my head that are wrong. Like, what day is it? Sometimes I'm not right. I would have been wrong. All right, so we are very excited to welcome back to the store Eric Zawadzki. He is going to be in store on Wednesday, the 19th. That is the day that, August, Wednesday, the 19th. See? That is the day that the second collected edition of Assorted Crisis Events comes out. He will be in the store signing from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. And you can bring in any of the issues that you already have. You can purchase a copy of Volume 2. You can purchase a copy of Volume 1. We always have lots in stock. This is one of my absolute favorites of all time comics. The 9th issue is also actually out tomorrow. So I'm very excited. It has been quite a few months since the last issue had come out, and man, it's just as good as ever. The colors from Jordi Belair are amazing. Eric Zawadzki's panel layouts are so evocative, and they do a whole bunch of great storytelling. Dennis Camp, obviously one of the best writers working today. He's also the writer behind Absolute Martian Manhunter that people have really been enjoying, and currently Bleeding Hearts, which was a Vertigo relaunch book that relaunched the whole Vertigo line. Bleeding Heart has been wonderful. That collected edition is coming out really soon. And Bleeding Hearts itself is about this young zombie who lives in a world where the zombies have basically taken over. Humans are slowly going extinct. And he wakes up one day and his heart starts beating. And when his heart starts beating, he sort of ends up feeling sort of like a change within himself. And there are still some humans around. They call them live ones. So the first issues actually kind of go back and forth in between story from his point of view and the story from some humans' point of view. And it also becomes a little bit about communicating to each other when you don't necessarily have the same language, how you can get across to others, especially when you've thought a certain way about a different group your entire life, type of thing. It's also a little bit about realizing, hey, are we the bad guys, type of thing. And at the end of the day, I think the simplest thing is the David Lynch quote. I believe it's David Lynch. Fix your hearts or die. It is at the core of that. It is such a wonderful book to read. I love Bleeding Hearts. This is me wandering off on a tangent. Eric Zawadzki will be in store August 19th when the second volume comes out. Again, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Andrew says, I just finished volume 1 about an hour ago. Glad you talked me into picking it up. Thank you so much. Let's get that back here. Camera, 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 camera. Oh, guys, my camera just stopped working. See, things are going great. And I love how this has been happening. Can I get a camera back up? Do, 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 do. Okay, so that's why that is. All right. We're doing it live, as the promo image says. I guess my camera died. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to make that camera last a little bit longer. Because yeah, I had it plugged in, so we'll see. I used to have to rig it up so that something was plugged into the camera that was charging it while it was streaming, so good times. Yeah, this is the right straight from the laptop angle. See if I can center myself a little bit. There we go. And this is a message from my girlfriend to the sometimes I don't know how days work comment. Love you. All right, well, considering how that's a bit of a mess, I'm going to do a couple quick recommendations of things that are out now, and then we will call it a stream. Hope you enjoyed the conversation. In the future, I'm going back and forth between doing a stream sort of like every 2 weeks or so, maybe in the mornings, or if this is more convenient for everybody, I would do the evenings, but I kind of am amused by the idea of featuring Variant Edition's new mugs in a morning show style. I could also do that in the evening. That's kind of a fun bit anyways. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to talk about 2 things before we go. Also formatting like the distillery line is the first release, or at least public release, of 3 Worlds, 3 Moons from the collective of Jonathan Hickman, Mike Del Mundo, Mike Hiddleston, and with some help from Nick Spencer. This is the world that they've been building for, I want to say 3 or 4 years at this point, over on Substack. They've been basically using the Substack format to release comics, do some digital product, and kind of make some scrolling stories, some full stories like this, and develop a brand new world from the ground up using a lot of different creators. I mean, back in the day, they had Teeny Howard help build their magic system. I think they had Al Ewing develop their religion and all kinds of different stuff. As with most Jonathan Hickman projects. It is designed amazingly well. And Foundations sort of has some of the first stories that were part of this universe in print from an actual comic company for the first time, and not just sort of like for backers only. And it is such a gorgeous book, a beautiful sci-fi series that I'm very happy that it is coming out for more of a mass audience. Like I said, Foundations is their foundational stories. It gives you a feel for the world of the people who live in it. And then they're going to do a series called Arrivals, which will kind of take you deeper into the world, and then they'll keep going from there. As we talked with Kurt about sort of production in some ways, some books are in production for like a good 2 years. Ideas will happen long before that. Over on the Substack, you've kind of seen the development of this project in real time and how long that takes for something to actually get on the shelves. And so this is a culmination of that. Is really cool. You can go over to the 3 Worlds, 3 Moons Substack and get like a bevy of other stuff if you sign up for their newsletter, and you can kind of like dig more into the world if you'd like. As someone who does like the print object and sort of like just a bit of more simple packaging that I can just like experience, I'm so excited for this to be coming out like this. And finally, for this stream, we're going to talk about yeah, that's awesome. We're going to talk about this wonderful book that we finally got in. Came out late last year, and we've been bugging the creator to send us our stuff from Kickstarter. Not their fault. It was just sort of like some miscommunication down the line. And we got this baby, Rodney R. Rodney, a beautiful hardcover book designed by Patrick Crotty, who does all of Piau's stuff and is the the designer who does all of Random House graphics line for young adults. So really great stuff. This book, I had such a fun time reading. I'll just read the back here. It's a horror comedy show. Extremely petty and annoying neighbor drives his neighborhood insane, but he looks like he might snap and murder you at any time. So no one dares say or do anything. Cops can't find dirt on him, and rent in the area is dirt cheap. So everyone just stays around. Now, you start off with this character that you're just like, I don't think he's right, because he's a little creepy. And hopefully I can find an early example of this. Oh yeah. How the word bubbles come out from inside of his mouth. It just sort of adds to the creepiness. What I really like about it is Rodney, for the most part, seems like he's just trying to live his life. He's just weird. And as the story progresses, you sort of get these wonderful moments as he's building connections with people, freaking some other people out, and then all of these different threads sort of like keep weaving tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter until you get to the end of it. It is so funny. It is so dark. It is a beautiful book, and I highly recommend people kind of check it out when they come in the store. Oh yeah, and also since there's like a Kickstarter thing, again, we're the only place in Western Canada retailer that has copies because we get in rad stuff for y'all. All right, that was a huge train wreck, including me not knowing how to start a show, the original Facebook feed being deleted, and me having to reset up everything at the last minute on the Facebook side. The music thing not talking to each other, my camera going out. But folks, we did it. We did it together. And I think we had some fun. So thank you all for joining me. The next one of these, I might do one next week. I know I said every 2 weeks. But my dad is going to be in town 2 weeks from now. So kind of one of those scheduling things that we'll go and see. But I will kind of figure out what I'm going to be doing by Thursday. I've got a couple little different things I want to try including there's ways I can put polls on here. There's ways that I can send you to different sites. And I do still want to do a show every now and then where I'm calling it No Further Answers, Your Honor, where you ask me questions and I, as a conduit of the universe, decide definitively the answer to those questions. Generally pop culture related, like, oh, who's better, so and so and so and so, that type of thing. I'll be the universe's arbiter and give you all the final answers that you need. So that's something that I kind of want to do. And yeah, I've got all kinds of like little bits and stuff going on, and also want to try and play some games with you folks, because there's a lot of like different things where people can participate and all that kind of stuff. So we'll be doing some interesting feeds going forward. I hope you kind of like the new studio colors. You'll be able to get a better look of it next week. We're gonna hang up some pictures. I was gonna do so today, but I found a few nails that aren't gonna work because there's nothing really to grip onto. The heads of them were too tiny, and the pictures were just gonna fall right off of those, and that wasn't gonna be good because they're these wonderful little crochet superheroes that my girlfriend made me that I adore, and I want them up and for all of y'all to see. So thank you all again for checking this out. It has been the hour, and yeah, next time hopefully things will be smoother. I'll put up the pre-stream for it and tell y'all when that'll be happening in the next couple days, and yeah, we'll talk to you then. Until then, I'll hope to see you in the store. Hope you check out some of these awesome mugs that I didn't show you nearly half of. And yeah, we'll go from there. All right. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you all again soon. Love you, folks.